Hello everyone, this is Bob and Threadbare, and welcome back to The Longest Journey. Well, we're done with the Bantu camp now, so let's head on out to the swamp. Bantu or Banta?
Mosquitoes everywhere. I hope one of those clouds doesn't get a whiff of me in charge. The last thing I need now is malaria.
Wait, would there even be malaria in Arcadia?
Swamp water. There are things moving down there. Big things.
Well, it's a good thing that someone built a boardwalk here. Really nothing else to this screen, though. Weird.
There's an ordeal I prefer not to go through again. Did I drop something? It feels like I dropped something. Whatever it was, one of those things probably ate it.
In other words, they've cleared up my inventory a little. Just a little, though. Oh, here's something.
They look like dark purple tulips with a satin texture. Pretty, but a little too gothic for my taste. It's like, where's the funeral? They feel very soft to the touch and soothing like skin moisturizer. I'll bring a few in case my hands get dry. Never hurts to be prepared for a dry skin emergency.
Huh. Well, let's keep going. I think that's the place.
That must be Roper Clax's castle. The whole gravity-defying bit kind of gives it away.
Now there's a guy with some dry skin.
Those berries look ripe and juicy, but my mom taught me never to judge a book by its cover. They're probably poisonous and almost certainly fattening.
Well, let's go get some.
Nuh-uh, that marshy ground between me and the berries looks treacherous. I'll probably get stuck and drown.
It actually looks pretty grassy. Probably hop across using the stones, but hey, we know somebody who could cross that. No problem.
It's chilly out here. You should really be wearing a sweater, doll. You don't want to catch a cold, not with the fate of the known cosmos on your shoulders.
I'm fine, thanks, Crow. What's going on with you?
Keeping my eyes open, you know, floating on the warm winds, doing that whole Hawkeye shtick. I'm getting pretty good at it, too. I spotted you from at least 100 yards away.
Impressive.
Yep. They don't call me the Lord of the Winds for nothing.
Do they really call you that?
No, but soon, by the balance, they will. Now, what can I do for you, sweetheart?
100 yards really isn't that far.
It's Crow.
What can I do you for?
Crow, I need you to fly over there and get some of those berries for me. And Crow?
Yes, ma'am.
Don't eat the berries.
No, ma'am.
Well, I mean, you can eat the berries if you want to, but we'll just make sure you bring some back.
Thanks, Crow.
You got it. I'm gonna go back up there and work on my eyesight. I ain't stopping until I can spot those cute chicks from miles and miles away.
Oh, there he goes. He's kind of hesitating there for a minute.
A soft, purple, moisturizing flower. I got a few of these ripe and sticky berries, but I don't want to carry them with me for much longer. The juice is coloring my pants.
You want to keep those pants in good shape.
Nice stonework, but not particularly realistic. Strange texture. My fingers feel tingly. Oh my god! What are you? I don't understand what you're saying. Can you try to open your mouth a bit? Impossible? Okay. Okay, there's gotta be some way to help you talk. By the way, can you help me get up there? Into the castle?
Yes, but my eyes can't move. Any magic?
I don't know any magic, sorry. But I'll try to find a way to soften you up.
Thank you.
So yeah, like I said, dry skin needs moisturizer.
That doesn't work. The stone surface is too coarse and the petals aren't moist enough by themselves. I think I need to mix them with something to make it easier to apply.
Well, luckily, we've got some moist and sticky berries here.
It's some sticky, mushy moisturizing cream I made from the berries and the flour. There. You feel better?
Softer. Yes.
Unfortunately, I don't think the salve will be effective for very long. I'm April, by the way.
Yeah, the game just kind of froze for a second here.
Lorhan, I'm a sailor, and you've got to help me get out of here. I don't think I can stand it much longer.
What happened to you?
That blasted alchemist cast a spell on me, turned me to solid rock. Then he put me here to be gatekeeper and anchor for his blasted castle that was near 6 full moons past now.
You've been here for half a year?
Curse the balance. When you say it like that, it is an age. My wife is sure to have taken someone else's bed by now. Blasted magic. The Vanguard were right.
What do you mean the Vanguard were right?
That we've been at the mercy of the balance for too long. It's time to make some changes. Put the control back into the hands of the people.
How would that have helped you?
Well, for one, there wouldn't be any rogue magicians like this Roper Clax running about causing trouble. Do you not agree?
I'm not about to argue politics with you right now, Lorhan. I'm in a hurry.
Who's arguing? And blasted be my rocky hide. Get me out of here.
How can I help you?
It ain't just me, April. There are dozens of men up there. Servants and sailors and merchants and soldiers, all sent here by their masters to deal with Roper Clax. Ha! Cursed be the balance. We've all been turned to stone, and our souls trapped in a crystal that the madman keeps in his tower. He draws power from that, power that shouldn't be his by right. But this blasted problem with the balance has upset the natural order of things. If the Vanguard were in control, this would never have happened. Things would be like they used to be a long time ago.
Everything was good then?
Oh, sure, there were problems, but this rift, it ain't natural. Science and magic belong together in the hands of the people, not to some naked guardian fellow on a tower somewhere far away.
Listen, we've got more important things to think about, like how I'm going to get inside the mountain, beat this Clax guy, and free your soul.
Yeah, you're right. And I can feel my muscles turning to stone again. We must hurry.
How do I get inside the mountain?
I'll pull the stairs down for you. Usually when Clax comes and goes, he softens me up for a bit, just so I can raise and lower the stairs for him, and then he changes me back to solid rock again. Once you're inside, and if you manage to defeat the madman, and I don't see how you're going to do that, a young woman like yourself.
I'm pretty resourceful, and I'm not your run-of-the-mill teeny bopper either.
You're what? Anyways, if you defeat Clax, you must find his study and break the crystal, the Soul Stone. That should break the spell and give us back our flesh and bone bodies.
Sounds like a plan.
All right, here goes. Watch your head, April.
Man, don't you hate it when you're just talking with some guy and he just brings up politics out of nowhere and got these really strong opinions and you just can't get the conversation away from that. Even though you're trying to do something completely different. Alright, guess there's nothing else to do on this screen. Oh dear.
A labyrinth, great. I so love these things.
Jump! Jump into the abyss!
Who is that? Wait, don't tell me. Evil wizard. They all sound like Richard III on crack.
Bah!
He's got his hand out like he's begging.
Interesting.
That gargoyle's holding a large hourglass.
Huh. Let's try messing with the hourglass first. Not quite sure what the gargoyle would want. Might be that pale thing up there on the second level. Oh. That messes with the stairs. Not for long, though. And yes, he will keep on interjecting throughout this entire sequence. Anyway, if I can get over here soon. Oh, come on.
It's a rolled up parchment.
Well, let's go grab it. Kind of suspicious of that mirror, though.
Whoa! Talk about a hissy fit. Evil Mirror Universe April sure got some anger stored up. Guess she doesn't want me to get that parchment.
Huh.
It's like that Star Trek episode with the Mirror Universe Spock. It almost looks like a Mirror Universe me. It's a stone door.
Well, let's give this one a try, then.
Who's knocking?
Huh. Another hourglass. And that lets me get over to this door. And from here, where do we go?
Balance be cast!
Well, I guess we're making progress. It's back to the lower level, but there's nothing to really do here at the moment. Much as I wish there were. Alright, so I'm guessing this doesn't go back the way where we were, because wouldn't be able to get it back out.
How the heck did I end up here? I didn't walk. Oh, forget it. Magic. Again.
Nah, nah, nah. You lose, you die.
It did say the gargoyle was begging. Maybe it really is just coins.
Bah! Curses!
Well now. Oh, that's interesting. It's doing something to that door there, too. I guess we woke it up. Alright, let's get down there. See if we can interact with it. Come on, come on. No, I haven't tried to go up here yet.
Ouch! God, this is just a painting of a staircase. Not fair. Now I understand how Wile E. Coyote felt. That damn bird.
Lots of mid-20th century references today. Alright, anyway, let's get across here.
Balance be cast.
That's one stony face.
Really? That's it? I don't really have anything else I could use on him. Well, I'm not interested in the flute.
I guess he's not around. I should try again later.
Yeah, no real windows in here.
That's one stony face.
Clearly I'm missing something. Let's go back to the entrance. See if there's something else we could do here.
This place is confusing. He's got his hand out like he's begging.
Maybe he just wants something else? Maybe just more money? So it really was that simple. And now we've got a couple condiment shakers. Can't do anything with fires now.
Salt. Pepper.
So they are. You know, I think I know what to do next. Well, let me first check something here. Well, I guess the mirror is going to be unsolved for the time being. But I have figured out what to do about that door. Because you will remember it yawned. Which means it can breathe. Which means it can be annoyed by Pepper.
Hell's bells.
At last, we're out.
Say whatever you want about Roper Clax, he certainly knows how to keep a big fire. Oh, wait. Are those human bones down there?
So I guess that means he makes a good pyre?
Big, certainly. But I can't see anything through it. It's like there's a thick fog outside obscuring everything.
Alright, well if that's all there is to do on...
Finally. I was beginning to think you would never make it through my labyrinth. Welcome to my humble home. Do you like it? I had it built according to my own specifications by the most skilled architects of Arcadia. They have since become a permanent and quite attractive fixture of their own building, of course. Oh, but I forget my manners. I am, as I am sure you already know, Roper Clax. And you would be?
Never hurts to be polite.
April Ryan, pleased to meet you, sir.
Oh, but the kitten has manners. How precious. How very precious. I am tempted to not turn you into stone. You would make a spirited wife and mother to my demonic children. But no, it will be more fun to destroy you.
Well, if he wants to monologue.
Why did you trap the wind?
Why does the wolf eat the sheep?
Survival.
I don't think you answered my question.
Because I can, little girl. Because I can. And because of who I am. Because I am hungry. And because the time is right.
I think you did it because you're insecure and you have to show off your petty magic to the world.
Shut your pretty little mouth. I will devour you. I will... But we must not lose our self-control, must we? No, we must not.
Why did you turn those people into stone?
Questions, questions, questions! I do not need to explain myself to you, little bastard child. Do you know who your parents are? No, of course not. Too stupid!
What? What do you know about my parents?
Suffer the little children. Oh, how I love that phrase. It is my life's philosophy. I like suffering, especially the suffering of innocent children. Their screams are so pretty, their tears so salty.
You're a real shit, Clax.
I know you are, but what am I? Ha 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 ha!
Really?
Prepare to be defeated.
Prepare to be defeated. Pah! Clichés! Is that the best you can do?
Watch me.
Yes. And you plan to do what? Witness the men who came before you with their weapons and their magic. Look what happened to them. Turned to stone. Each and every one of them for all eternity. I even own their souls now. And they will feed me and keep me strong for as long as I need them.
How original. Been reading a lot of fairy tales lately, have we?
Oh, how precious. See? I could scour your flesh off your bones in a second, little girl. Now, do you think you could defeat me?
I gotta go for it.
Yeah, well, I can pull a rabbit out of a hat.
I can pull a hat out of a rabbit. What's your point?
Whoa, I've never seen that before.
It is not a pretty sight, and I love it.
How did you do that?
Alchemy, little girl, the most powerful magic. It was a spell of my own creation. I knocked it together only last night.
How about a proper challenge?
A proper... What do you mean by a proper challenge?
I can't defeat you with magic. I'm not a wizard.
Wizards? Frauds, the lot of them. The only real magic is the magic of alchemy. But of course, you cannot defeat me with magic. That is why I will win.
What's so great about beating me with magic? That's not a challenge. That's a walkover. If we even the odds out a bit, you'll have more fun and satisfaction from turning me into stone later.
You are trying to trick me. I know that. But you intrigue me, little girl. Go on, then. Issue a challenge worthy of my powers.
Okay. We've got quite the list here. Quite the list.
I challenge you to a round of tic-tac-toe.
Ah. Did I forget to mention that back at the Alchemists' Academy, I was a faithful member of the Tic-Tac-Toe Club for 5 years?
Oh, really?
Seriously? He just ran up, got some chalk, and off they went. How do you spend 5 years mastering tic-tac-toe? Especially a 3x3 grid like that one.
Fine, you win.
How did that happen? How terrible is she at tic-tac-toe? The only winning move is not to play. Everyone knows that.
I challenge you to a game of hopscotch.
Do not underestimate me, little girl. I was young once too, believe it or not. And I was the neighborhood champion in hopscotch 3 years running.
Okay. Let's rock and roll.
Yep, getting out more chalk. You know, I never actually learned, like, the formal rules for hopscotch. I guess he seems pretty good at it, though.
Fine, you win.
Alright, well, what else can we do?
I challenge you to guess my weight.
118 pounds.
Damn. I challenge you to a spelling bee.
Ha! Spelling. My secret passion. All right. You begin. Give it to me.
Sure, okay. Spell... bureaucracy.
Bureaucracy, as in a body of non-elective government officials. Bureaucracy. B-U-R-E-A-U-C-R-A-C-Y. Bureaucracy. Now it's your turn. Spell... Anzabequakalia.
Answer what? That's not a real word.
It is. It is a terminology often used in the study of the black art of alchemy. Now spell it.
A-N-S... Oh, forget it.
Man, this guy is schooling you.
I challenge you to recite a monologue from Shakespeare's Macbeth.
If it were done when 'tis done, then 'twere well it were done quickly. If the assassination could trammel up the consequence, and catch with his surcease success, that but this blow might be the be-all, and the end-all.
All right already.
How does he even know what Macbeth is?
I challenge you to a cooking contest.
Ah, cooking. My secret passion. You have not lived until you have tasted my mince pie.
Oh, brother. Forget cooking. I suck at cooking anyway.
Then why was that on the list of suggestions? Why would you do that? Okay, so we can't challenge him to music, but
It's a calculator.
maybe we can challenge him to math. And cheat.
I challenge you to a contest of simple arithmetic, using only this petty little device against your supreme intellectual powers.
Give me your best shot, but after this, I will take your soul and trap you in stone for all eternity.
Sounds good to me. Okay, here's one. 49 times 11.
49 times 11 what?
Numbers. Okay, think of apples and oranges. 49 apples times 11 oranges.
49 times 11. Let's see. Carry the 1 over, divide by 3. What to do with that file? Oh, forget that one. So that leaves us with 9! Aha!
Wrong. It's 539. That was an easy one, Klax. Is that the best you can do?
2 out of 3.
I'll give you an even easier one this time. 603 divided by 3.
Ooh, you underestimate my powers, little girl. 5,867.2.3. Aha!
Way off, buddy. It's 201. Sorry, you lose.
Give me that thing.
How could he be so bad at basic math? You kind of need to know that for chemistry.
This is intriguing. This really is. What does this do? Oh my.
You gotta mix things in the right proportions, or otherwise everything could explode. Damn, you're excited. What the fuck just happened? Played this game half a dozen times, and I still have no idea what the hell just... What?
And I always thought math was such a waste of time.
Okay. Today's request comes to us from patron Lord Zed Repulso. It's a rather particular request, too. It's a single-season anime based on a light novel series. In English, the title is The Devil is a Part-Timer, and the anime came out in 2013. The story about the story. I've discussed Japanese filmmaking and animation before, but today I'm going to have to start by describing a different medium, the Japanese light novel. Now, the name light novel is particular to Japan, but the nature of these novels is not. Light novels are basically just young adult novels, particularly the ones that are part of long-running series like Nancy Drew or The Hardy Boys. They're short novels, novellas sometimes, and while they don't come out monthly like pulp magazines or comic books, they are designed for that same sort of easy consumption. If you set aside an afternoon, you get through a light novel in a single day. That Isaac Asimov book I reviewed, Lucky Star, that's the sort of novel we're talking about. Anyway, Japanese light novels are targeted at teenagers, another thing they share in common with young adult books, and so there's a lot of overlap between light novels, manga, and anime, since all three largely target the same demographic. Now, comics don't usually get adapted into light novels, but popular light novel series will often be adapted into manga and anime. It also helps that one thing that sets light novels apart from young adult books is the fact that they feature illustrations, and these illustrations are in the manga style. I bring this up because that's where today's subject comes from. The Devil is a Part-Timer was originally written by Wagahara Satoshi, with the first book published in 2011 and the current number of books standing at 20. A year later, in 2012, the publisher commissioned a manga adaptation which is also ongoing. In 2013, the anime came out. I believe I should spare a word for the anime studio. The book and manga publisher is ASCII Media Works, one of the big Japanese publishing conglomerates, but they don't do anime, and so they handed off the adaptation to a studio named White Fox. White Fox is a small company, a spin-off of another animation studio called OLM, and they were spun off so that they could specialize in more mature stories. You may have heard of some of the shows they've created, at least if you've heard of Steins Gate or Re:Zero. For its part, The Devil is a Part-Timer isn't too graphic, but it's still a good fit for the studio considering the mature way it looks at traditional fantasy tropes. But then I should save the analysis for after the story. Once again, I'm covering a TV series, and so, once again, my summary is going to be a little less detailed than usual. But let's get going. The story begins with an ending. In the mystic realm of Ente Isla, Satan, ruler of demons, attacked the four corners of the world to create an empire of darkness. However, Satan was opposed by a hero, a chosen one, and together with a band of comrades, the hero stopped the demon invasion and brought the fight to Satan's doorstep. The hero's party fight Satan and his last general Alciel in the throne room, but when Satan realizes he's losing, he opens a portal to another dimension and swears to return one day. The other dimension turns out to be modern-day Tokyo. This being a dimension without magic or demons, Satan and Alciel find themselves reduced to human forms, and while their magic isn't completely gone, it is severely reduced. As a couple of lost foreigners, they get picked up by the cops in short order, and while they're at the station, Satan uses what's left of his powers to learn the language and culture. Satan wants to keep a low profile until he can figure out how to regain some magic energy, so he heads to a government building and uses more hypnosis to forge some paperwork and get a one-room apartment. The two gain new identities and new names, Mao Sadao for Satan and Ashia Shiro for Alciel. The two demons need money for food and rent, and so Mao gets a part-time job while Ashia keeps the apartment clean, cooks the food, and conducts research on earth magic. Incidentally, Mao's job is, basically at a McDonald's, since ruler of a demon empire isn't something you can really put on a resume. One rainy day, Mao meets a redhead on his way to work. She doesn't have an umbrella, so he gives her his. We then see Mao at work, and turns out he's surprisingly dedicated to his job. It's enough to get him a promotion, but as he's celebrating on his way home, the redhead from earlier confronts him. Turns out she's the hero, Emilia, and Mao didn't recognize her because she was completely armored up when they first fought. We then see what happened. After Satan and Alciel jumped into the portal, Emilia followed them just before it could close, leaving her party behind in the process. Of course, Emilia with her holy magic is in the same boat as Mao, and so when she tries to continue the fight, it's with a dollar store knife instead of her holy blade. And the fight gets broken up by the police, who think that she's some kind of crazy ex-girlfriend. So Emilia gives up for the night, and we see that she's got a job at a call center, and she goes by Yusa Emi in this world. One night, Emi goes to the demon's apartment and demands to be let in. Her demands becoming more frantic as the two debate whether to do so. Turns out she's actually kind of lonely, although she won't admit it to them. For his part, while Mao admits that he wants to conquer Earth, his current ambition is to become a full-time employee at McDonald's. As such, Emi decides to conserve her remaining magic and just keep an eye on Mao for now. So Emi stalks Mao for several days, only to discover that he's up to exactly nothing. For a demon, he acts like a remarkably good person. She confronts him about it and suggests that he stay on Earth forever, but then they get interrupted by a magic-using sniper. They both end up saving each other's lives and escape, and since Emi loses her wallet, she ends up staying at Mao's place. Things continue to ramp up as Emi gets a threatening phone call, and Mao's co-worker Sasaki Chiho seems to know something about a series of earthquakes that have been happening recently. Chiho has a crush on Mao, so she uses her knowledge as an excuse to go out for lunch with him. She explains that she somehow overheard someone using magic to communicate, and realized that he was talking about the earthquakes. And Mao realizes that scrying spells sent from his dimension could be the cause of the quakes. Unfortunately, their meetup is in an underground mall, and the big earthquake happens while they're still there. They get trapped in the rubble, and Mao gets his old demonic body back because it turns out his magic is powered by fear and negative emotions. Surprisingly though, Mao uses his newfound power to rescue other trapped survivors, and this completely confounds Emmy, who was there because she's still stalking Mao. Emmy then flashes back to the time when the church took her from her father because she's a half-angel and the chosen one. This was also the last time she saw her father because Satan's general Lucifer would later destroy his village. Not long after the quake, things start building to the mid-season climax. The monk and the wizard from Amelia's old party jump into the dimension gate to help her, and then Shiho gets kidnapped by a boy with purple hair and black wings, a boy Mao identifies as Lucifer. Turns out, he and the priest from Amelia's party, Olba Mayer, have been working together to kill both Satan and Amelia. Olba wants Amelia out of the picture so she won't be a threat to his power within the church, and he got Lucifer to help him by promising the fallen angel a way back into heaven. Also, they've been quiet up until now because they've been gathering demonic energy by mugging and robbing random people. So there's a big fight, and it all happens out in public because both sides need to feed on fear to power their magic. During the fight, Mao admits that he doesn't want to go back to Anti-Isla, Emmy shows concern for his safety, Olba ends up in a coma, Lucifer gets defeated and ends up living with Mao and Asya, and afterwards, Mao uses his remaining power to wipe all the witnesses' memories and fix all the damage to the city. Every witness except Shiho, that is, since she wants to be a part of all this craziness. Oh, and Emmy's old party members show up too late to do anything, but they do mention that the whole church was in on Olba's plan. They then return to Anti-Isla to work against the church, leaving Emmy behind to keep an eye on the three demons. The second arc begins with Lucifer, now called Urushihara Hanzo, settled into the apartment, and showing the other two that he's surprisingly proficient with computers. It also begins with a mysterious and excessively traditional woman named Kamazuki Suzuno moving in next door to Mao. Except her actual name is Crestia Bell. She's an enforcer with the church's Inquisition, and she's been sent to Earth to kill the witnesses of Olba's betrayal. Meanwhile, the wizard has sent Emmy a bunch of energy drinks so that she can restore her celestial magic. Despite her mission, Suzuno doesn't strike right away. Instead, she acts like a courteous neighbor and keeps cooking for the demons, especially after Asya collapses from heat stroke. About a week later, though, a masked man with a scythe attacks Emmy at the convenience store and uses a purple beam that saps her energy. And he runs off when a store clerk throws some orange paintballs at him. Emmy gets to know Suzuno, but she's still shocked when she learns they're both from Anti-Isla. At first, Emmy thinks Suzuno might have been the attacker, but Suzuno has no idea what she's talking about, and more importantly, she has no orange paint on her face. Suzuno also explains that she learned everything she knows about Japan from historical dramas, hence her old-fashioned manners. She then proposes that she and Emmy join forces, kill Satan, and go home, but Emilia refuses to trust the church after what Olba did. Meanwhile, Mao has been promoted to shift manager, just in time to deal with a customer crisis thanks to a KFC that opened up across the street. Its manager comes over to greet the competition, and he turns out to be a short, sleazy guy with blue hair and big glasses. Mao treats the KFC-McDonald's rivalry with the gravity of a military campaign, sending Asya to get intel on the KFC's menu, and then taking advantage of a local festival to decorate some bamboo and hand out free small drinks. His tactics work, too. Time passes, and we discover that the slimy KFC manager is actually an angel, and Suzuno's handler. He wants her to hurry up with assassinating the demons, but for her part, Suzuno has been harboring some serious doubts about the Inquisition and the church leadership. Between that and Mao's virtuous behavior, she's been hesitating. After a push from the angel, Suzuno confronts Emmy and Shiho about whether the devil deserves to die, but both of them push back. Suzuno gets particularly upset when Emmy insists that she can make a better future without the dirty tactics of the Inquisition. Just after that, the masked attacker shows back up and reveals himself to be the angel, Sariel. Sariel depletes Emmy's power again and knocks her out, with his goal being to take her celestial sword, Better Half. He also has Susanoo abduct Chiho so that he can use her for experiments. Fortunately, Lucifer planted a tracker in Emmy's purse, and so Mao races after them as soon as he hears. Meanwhile, Ashia has gotten so sick that he ends up in the hospital just in time to see Olba wake up from his coma and escape. Serial takes Emmy to the top of a skyscraper and tortures her to make her give up the sword. He also tells Susanoo to go kill Mao, who has reached the base of the building. Mao fights her, but first he takes off his uniform, since if he damages it, he'll have to pay for it. He also reveals that he knew all along that she was from the Inquisition, and that she was poisoning the food she made with celestial energy. Satan and Lucifer had enough power to eat it anyway, but it made poor Alciel sick. Susanoo puts up a token fight, but Mao calls her out on the fact that she doesn't want Serial to win either. So she lets him run past her, and she resolves to fight for her own reasons from now on. Meanwhile, Olba goes and finds Lucifer and asks him to team up again. After climbing his way to the roof, Mao confronts Serial. However, Mao has no magic left, and Serial gets his power from the moon, and so Serial is able to toss Mao around like a ragdoll. Olba then casts a spell to make the moon appear bigger, and while this powers up Serial, it also makes everyone in Tokyo start worrying, and that powers up the three demons. Lucifer then knocks Olba out, because he also wants to stay on Earth now. This ends the moon spell, and so Satan beats the crap out of a depowered Serial. Then there's another episode after all of this, but it's filler, and so I'll skip it. The analysis. There are a couple of points I'd like to make about this series. First is the rather obvious role reversal. Evil is good, and good is evil. The demons of this setting are as blatant as possible, with black wings, goat legs, and horns, and names like Satan and Lucifer. Then on the other side you have what's basically the Catholic Church, backed by literal angels and clerics wielding holy energy. But when we actually get to know these figures, we find out that Satan is a hard worker, loyal to his friends, and compassionate to people in danger, while Olba the High Priest is corrupt, bloodthirsty, and treacherous, and Serial the Angel is sadistic, perverted, and egotistical. The lesson here is pretty clear. Good and evil aren't a matter of appearances. You can't just label your side as good and their side as evil and pretend like the ends of wiping them out justify any means. If you want to be good, you have to be a better person. You can't just claim you are and then do whatever terrible acts you like. And while we are told that the demons started the war and that the hero ended it, wars are ugly, messy things. The more we learn about the conflict, the more complicated it gets. We can't trust the narrator's summary to tell the whole story. Second, there's something more subtle going on with the whole story structure. See, in manga and anime, there's this whole subgenre where the protagonist is a random guy, almost always a guy, from Japan who gets whisked away into a fantasy setting. More often than not, they're also hilariously overpowered, and in some cases they get to embody their favorite RPG character. The whole genre is basically escapism at its purest. I don't mean that as a bad thing, it's just a statement of fact. But then you've got this story, The Devil is a Part-Timer, in which heroes and villains come from the realms of medieval fantasy and end up becoming low-ranking nobodies in modern-day Japan. And they like it. They prefer it even to the high fantasy settings they left. And why not? No big wars getting everybody killed, communication devices that fit in your pocket, shelves full of food in every grocery and convenience store, a police force to keep people from killing each other on the street, and indoor plumbing available even in crummy one-room apartments. Sure, the show is full of big magical battles, but it's also full of extraordinary people leading ordinary lives, and feeling perfectly satisfied while doing so. You could say it's a case of the grass being greener on the other side, but, well, the modern world really does have a lot going for it. It's a healthy thing to escape from our lives now and again, but it's also healthy to sometimes feel thankful for what we have, even if we don't have much. Because while we may all want magic or superpowers or piles of money, the fact is, we don't. So we may as well be enthusiastic about what we do have, or what we can do. Now, I should note that the devil is a part-timer doesn't break conventions in all respects. Satan and the hero have that old will-they-won't-they relationship going on, and there's a very blatant male gaze aspect to the scene framing and cinematography. Still, of all of the anime shows out there, this is definitely one of the ones that's worth your time. Thanks for joining me again for today's series review, and I hope I'll see you next time for another book about sexism in space.